take a thought, any neutral thought. For instance, take the thought, what a beautiful day it is at Buckland Hall. And just sound that thought to yourself a few times. Now ask yourself the question, what is this thought appearing in? But don't give a name to the answer, just ask the question. Anything that appears must appear in something or on something. So just sound these words to yourself. Don't be interested, the words are not particularly interesting. Be interested in the medium or the field in which they appear. They must appear in something. And if we are experiencing the words, we must be experiencing whatever they appear in. And now take the same thought again, what a beautiful day it is in Buckland Hall, and slow it down. Say it to yourself as if in slow motion. What a beautiful day, etc. And now ask yourself the question, what is the stuff in between the words? What a beautiful. What is present between the what and the A, and the A and the beautiful? We could say that what appears, or what is present between the words is a kind of space which is obviously inherently empty of words. It is the space between the words. So it is an empty space. Ask yourself what happens to that space when the next word appears. What a beautiful. Does the space disappear? Or does it remain present? There is a discontinuity of the words, but is there any discontinuity of the space? When we write a thought on a piece of paper, all the words are present simultaneously. But when we sound a thought in our mind, each word appears one at a time. When the what appears, the "a beautiful day it is" has not yet come into existence. And when the "a" appears, the "what" has vanished. See that each of these words, they appear in the same place. They are not spread out in time. They appear in the same place. The "what" is replaced by the "a", which is replaced by the beautiful. Ask yourself the question, where does each word come from? What does it emerge from? And when it disappears, where does it go? Do you experience the word being put into this space from the outside? Or does the word emerge from within the space? And now allow the tingling, pulsating sensation at the soles of your feet to come to your attention. This sensation, like the previous thought, is always changing, albeit more slowly. Ask yourself the question, what is this sensation appearing in? It must be appearing in something. Whatever the sensation is appearing in is itself inherently free of sensation. go back and forth between the thought and the sensation. Travel with your attention from the thought to the sensation and back again. Ask yourself the question, is my attention traveling in the always in the same field or space? Or does it, when the attention travels from the thought to the sensation, does it leave one field or space and enter another? Or is your attention always traveling in the same field? And now allow whatever sounds are present to come to your attention. Sounds are continually appearing and disappearing. In what? Whatever it is that the sounds appear in is itself inherently free of sound. It is as such empty. Now travel back and forth with your attention from the thought to the sensation, to the sound, back to the thought, the sensation. Don't be interested in the particular objects. Be interested in the space in which these objects are appearing. Do they appear in the same space, the same field, or three different fields? Be very experiential. Don't think about this. When your attention travels from one object to another, do you ever encounter a border or an edge to one field? Do you ever have to leave one field with your attention and enter another? Or is your attention flowing seamlessly, unobstructed, through the same empty field? Would it be possible for any of these experiences, the thought, the sensation, or the perception, to appear or exist if it were not for this empty field? This empty space in which our thoughts, sensations and perceptions appear is the empty self-aware field of awareness. That is not some extraordinary, mystical or spiritual idea. It's not an extraordinary experience that a few people have special access to. It is simply a description of our current experience. Try now with your attention to see if you can leave the field of awareness. Just roam with your attention. Wherever you want, go as far as you can go. And don't be interested in whatever object you encounter. You're looking for the edge of the field of awareness in which your attention is moving. Try to find that edge. Listen to the sound of the plane, for instance. Does it appear within the field of awareness or outside of it? And when the sound disappears, does it go to a place outside awareness, or does it dissolve into awareness? Try to come in contact with something outside awareness. Go wherever you want in your imagination. Imagine any extreme of experience. Can you find any experience that takes place outside awareness? Consider again the fundamental presumption of our world culture. First of all, there is time and space, then matter, then the world, then the body, then the brain, then the mind, then awareness. Awareness, this fleeting, fragile, insubstantial, intermittent experience that is a byproduct of brain activity. Consider this idea and measure it against your actual experience. Is this idea, this fundamental presumption upon which our world culture is founded, is it an accurate description of your experience? Is your body, is awareness an experience in and a byproduct of your body, or is your body an experience in and a byproduct of awareness? Is awareness a fragile, fleeting, insubstantial experience that appears in the world? Or is the world a series of fleeting, insubstantial, intermittent perceptions that appears in awareness? What is your experience? Don't allow your mind to tell you, oh, that's crazy. How could the world possibly appear in dimensionless awareness? You imagine 2,500 years ago when people first suggested that the world was round, that it was floating, suspended weightlessly in empty space. Can you imagine what people who thought the earth was flat? And that it rested on some solid, never-ending substratum. Can you imagine what they thought when it was first suggested that the earth was just a sphere, a minute speck suspended weightlessly in space? What I'm suggesting is no less extraordinary than the fact that the earth is like a speck suspended weightlessly in empty space. I'm suggesting that the universe is a series of specks suspended weightlessly, not in empty physical space, but in empty self-aware consciousness. Is it so strange? We were wrong about the flat earth. We were wrong about the geocentric universe. Could we be wrong about consciousness? I mean, are human beings so smart? Look around our culture. Are we so intelligent? Could it be that there are not billions of separate, limited, finite consciousnesses floating around in each of our heads? Could it be that there is one borderless, infinite consciousness in which each of our minds are appearing? After all, if none of us can find an edge to the awareness in which our experience appears, not just those 100 or so of us here, but if nobody has ever or could ever experience an edge to the awareness in which their experience appears, what legitimacy is there to the belief that there is an edge to awareness? There is no legitimacy to such a belief. It is simply a belief. It is a religion. It is the religion of materialism. As ignorant as the flat earth or geocentric universe ideas. How would it be to live our lives in a way that is consistent with the implications of this understanding? how would it be to lead a life that was consistent with the understanding that there is one limitless awareness, and that limitless, indivisible, infinite awareness shines in each of our minds as the knowledge I am, or the feeling of being. How would it be to live the possibility that the I am that each of us knows is the same being, the same infinite consciousness refracting itself in each of our minds? Could it be that the experience of love is this knowledge of our shared being? After all, when we feel that we love one another, or we feel we are in love, isn't that what we feel? Don't we feel, I am one with you. I am you. Love is the experience of our shared being. The reason we long for love, either to love or to be loved, is because we long not for the object, not for the person, but we long to be divested of everything that makes us feel separate, limited, confined, temporary. We long to return to our original, unlimited being. Everyone has an intuition of this, not just those of us that are interested in non-duality. All 7 billion of us loves, love. Why? Why do all 7 billion of us want love above all else? It is because this memory of our eternity lives or shines in each of our minds. Each of our finite minds longs to be returned to its original condition. Our experience doesn't take place in time and space. It takes place in consciousness. This is not an extraordinary mystical idea. It is simply a description of our experience. Dare to live a life that is consistent with the implications of this understanding. When a character in a movie walking in the landscape looks around herself, she thinks that she sees space, 3-dimensional space. From her limited point of view, it looks like 3-dimensional space. She doesn't realize what appears in her world as three-dimensional space is in reality a two-dimensional screen. Likewise, from each of our limited points of view, we think our experience takes place in time and space. It doesn't. It takes place in dimensionless consciousness. Time and space is just what dimensionless consciousness looks like from the point of view of our finite minds. Don't expect the appearance of time and space to disappear, but don't be fooled by it. Our experience appears in infinite, dimensionless consciousness. The common name for consciousness is I, what we essentially are. Don't be fooled into thinking that you are a cluster of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. These are just pinpricks floating in the sky of awareness, the self-aware field in which all experience appears and out of which all experience is made. Everything that appears in awareness is made of awareness. The existence of things doesn't belong to things. The only one that truly is awareness. Just as the landscape in the movie borrows its apparent reality from the true and only reality of the screen, so the apparent reality of all objects and selves is borrowed from the only reality that truly is. Infinite awareness, or God's infinite being, the only one that truly is. The sense of I am, or the feeling of being, is a reflection of God's infinite being in each of our finite minds. That being is not limited. It appears to share the limits and the destiny of the body, just as the screen appears to share the limits of the characters in the movie. But the characters in the movie are just a temporary modulation, a temporary coloring of the screen. All experience is a temporary coloring of the self-aware screen of pure consciousness. Nothing limits consciousness. Consciousness is one seamless, infinite, indivisible whole. There are no parts, no objects, no selves, no divisions, no limitations in consciousness itself. So what I am suggesting is a complete reversal of perspective. But it is not one that comes from abstract philosophical thinking. It is one that comes from rigorously exploring our experience. After all, experience must be the test of reality. I don't have any special access to this reality. I have just explored it very thoroughly and am making the pathways along which I explored available to other people to travel. Everyone has the same access to reality, because everyone is the same reality. In fact, there aren't lots of separate everyones. Each of our minds is just a temporary, self-assumed limitation of the only one that truly is, infinite, indivisible, self-aware being, God's infinite being. All that is required is to take the journey, make the exploration yourself. Use these pathways that are being shared. Excavate your entire experience. Explore it and be courageous. Only trust what you yourself know from your own experience. Refuse everything your culture has told you. They told us the earth was flat. They told us the earth was the center of the universe. They were wrong. Could they be wrong about consciousness? Could it be that consciousness is not an epiphenomenon of the brain? Scientists believe that it is so, but they still haven't found consciousness in the brain. They have absolutely no idea how consciousness is produced by matter. The reason why they have no idea is because it isn't. It's not rocket science. It is so simple. Explore your experience. Trust your experience. And then the last stage, have the courage to live the implications of what you discover. Ponder the implications of this perspective, and then try it out. To the best of your ability, think, feel, act, perceive, and relate in a way that is consistent with whatever you discover. The old habits will, of course, reassert themselves. Don't worry about that. Just go back again and again and again. Explore your experience. Live the implications of what you discover. And the more we make this exploration and the more we try to live its implications, the more this picture fills out. It's not just one discovery, it goes on and on and on, revealing itself.